Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we're kicking off our second lesson in our science lesson. So today we're going to be focusing on defining what a matter is and the three different states of matter. So what is matter? Matter is anything that has weight and takes up space. So this can be anything you see or you touch. So some examples are the tablets that you might be using to watch this video. It could be the chicken noodle soup that you might have had last night. It could be the clouds, sky, or air, and it can even be the sun that's 92 miles away from us. So there are two different categories on how we define matter. It could be through the property of the matter and the state of the matter. So matter has two different properties. It has mass and it has volume. These are two vocabulary words that you learned with Ms. Daniela in the previous video. And so mass is how much something or an object weighs. Volume measures the amount of space an object takes up. So for example, this little chess piece right here, if we were put it on a scale, it would tell us the quantity of matter that this chess piece has. While in this diagram, if we were to put a chess piece inside a beaker of water, the question would become, how much space is this chess piece taking up in this beaker filled with water? And so the second category that we talked about, or that I mentioned, was the state of matter that something can be in. And so matter comes in three different states. It can come in a solid, like a basketball. It can come in a liquid, like Gatorade, or it can come in the state of a gas. Now I know the fan is an example of a solid, but the air that's being blown from the fan can represent our gas. And so to further explain these three states of matter, we're going to go through it right now. So a solid is something that keeps its shape. So if you see right here, there's an ice cube right here. If we were to put it in a container like this, and it was a very magical ice cube and it never melted, this is what it would look like. The molecules in this ice cube would vibrate in place because it's not malleable. We can't change the state that it is in unless we melt the ice cube, right? Which, let's say if we were to melt the magical ice cube, it would become into a liquid. Now, how we define what a liquid is that the matter takes the shape of the container holding it. And so as we see here, we see the molecules inside this container as well as over here. They're freely moving around, right? And so I have a little diagram here for you. If I were to pour Kool-Aid into my water glass, my Kool-Aid isn't going to fill up the cup halfway like this, right? I haven't seen a cup ever do that. I hope your cup doesn't do that either, right? If I were to pour Kool-Aid into a cup, it would probably fill up the container or the cup like this, right? I'll even put in a fun straw. How about that? Like this, right? But let's say if I were to take a liquid and I were to boil it, I would get a gas. Gas is it fills whatever space is available. So in this diagram right here, there's gas coming from the gas stove, but also gas is being released from the boiling water. So when water reaches a boiling point of 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it gains enough energy to break free and become a gas, which is why we see steam when we boil gas. And in the diagram right here on the right, we could see that the gas is being trapped inside this container, right? So I have a container right here, all right? A 1 gallon container of water, just a water container, right? If I were to cap it off, the air would be trapped in here, the gas. So the gas fills up this gallon water bottle, right? But when I release the air, it now enters my space, which is the room that I'm in right now. And so that's a quick review or a rundown of the three states of matter. And so I have a quick review question for you. It is, can you identify the three states of matter in this picture? So I have Bob here, and he's sweating profusely. So he is using a fan to cool himself down. So if you need to pause this video so that you can think of the three states of matter that are shown in this picture, you may do so now. All right, so I said that Bob was the solid. I said that his sweat is the liquid, and the air that is coming from the fan represents the gas. But different types of solid can be, or different examples of the solid can be his shoes or his hat. All right, and so that concludes our matters lesson. So what we would like for you to do is to draw examples of the three different types of matter that we just learned today. Make sure you label and explain why your drawing represents that state of matter. And so I did an example as well. And so this is how I showed my different states of matter. So I showed the basketball, a fruit punch, and helium in a balloon. Notice that I explained why a basketball represents a solid, for example, or a fruit punch represents a liquid, and helium in a balloon represents a gas. And so I would like for you to draw this on a piece of paper, label it, and for Mrs. McKee's class, I'd like you to turn it into Seesaw. And for Miss Ayala's class, please turn it in through Google Classroom. All right, have fun with this activity. We are so excited to see what creative things that you might come up with, things maybe that we might not have thought of. And so have fun with it. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.